Someone just happened to note in one of the podcasts I did last week that we printed approximately 25% more money into the monetary supply, beginning with Trump and continuing through Biden. If you look at all the stimulus, all the new money, all the money printing that was a direct response to COVID, and all the money printing that was general day-to-day money printing that we do all the time, because when the government needs money, it just means we're on a day that ends in Y. That's all that means. It's about, from the beginning of this shit till now, about 25% expansion of the monetary supply, the M3. And that if you go back to when the inflation started, which was under Trump, by the way, it just got largely worse under Biden. The money printing and the inflation started with the orange man. Let's not deny that. And I know you want to give them a pass, some of y'all, because your adherence to the orange man's way of life, right? But he did not have to print all that money, and he did not have to sanction shutting our economy down, and he did not have to tell you to go out and get your wonderful, beautiful shots. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to. He gets some of the blame because he did some of the things. Irrelevant who did it, though. It's 25% more money, and when you look at the inflation compounded over the last year of Trump and these years of Biden, it combines to be about 25%. The monetary supply expanded at the rate of inflation. Some bitch. Isn't that a surprise? No, it can't be that the underlying asset value is directly contributing to inflation. Some crazy-ass duck farmer might have, he did say that, didn't he? At the same episode, this dude commented with that comment. Well done, sir. I don't remember your name. I don't know if I've got you here or I can give you credit or not. Let me see. Scott, absolutely. Here's what Scott's actual comment was. It's interesting how in 1 year we increased the monetary supply by 25%. Then over the next couple of years, inflation adds up to 25%. How odd. Hope you spent your stimulus well. The reality is it wasn't all in 1 year. But his point is absolutely valid. The monetary expansion equals inflation. It won't always. Don't ever think for a minute, because it's a fool's trap. Right. And so many, like all the gold salespeople fall into this trap where they want you to, so that you'll spend your worthless money to buy their worthwhile gold that they should just keep if they meant what they said. Yeah. Okay. The inflation BS trap is that the only thing that causes inflation is the monetary supply. It's the monetary supply, and then it is plus the velocity of money, and plus the secondary expansion of the monetary supply. So there's two ways the monetary supply is expanded. One is the direct expansion. The government spends money it doesn't have. It borrows from the Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs gets the bonds. The bonds come from the Treasury. It's all a game of grab ass incest and scraping of profit and robbing of wealth. But that's what most people think of when you think of printing money. That's one form of monetary expansion. The other form of monetary expansion that's largely been in check right now is all the other money that's borrowed. You buy a house, you start a business, you get a construction loan, you put money on your credit card. That one's not been in check. The rest of them have been in check because interest rates went up to control inflation, which hasn't worked. Because the underlying monetary asset value is not the only contributing factor, but the primary contributing factor to inflation. Maybe somebody should ring the Fed up, or what's her name, Yellen, and explain this to them, because they didn't learn when they got their PH Masters or whatever it is from whatever university gave them a degree that isn't worth shit. They don't understand that. But there are other factors. Supply and demand is a factor on inflation. In levels of employment, how much money you have, et cetera. But here we're looking at a pretty direct correlation, and there's a reason for it. They printed the money. They dumped it into circulation. They stole their grift off of it. They gave you a check, and then they made your cost of living go up by more than the value of your check across a year or two. That's a bad investment. If I said, I'll give you $10,000, I'll give it to you. You can have it. You don't have to pay it back. However, if you take the $10,000, your base cost of living will go up $5,000 a year minimum for the rest of your life. So over 10 years, the $10,000 is going to cost you $50,000. And we're talking about your base cost of living, not your discretionary spending, like your rent, your gas, your food, everything. If you are the person that would take that deal, you're the person that runs down to the pawn shop every time you need some more money and thinks they're going to get their family heirloom back, and all your family heirlooms are gone. Or something, your payday loan person or something. Like, nobody with comments, but that's the deal everybody took. That was the deal everybody took when they took the stimmy checks. I hope you spent it well. I hope you invested it in something that outperforms inflation.